Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. A good afternoon and evening, perhaps night even, to everyone watching and being here. Hello. This is our Report of the Week, and we are here again with yet another review of the Running on Empty series, of course. Long awaited. Before this, this came out, I think today actually, right after the Super Bowl. This was the famed Quesalupa from Taco Bell. The famed Quesalupa from Taco Bell. So, went out today. It was a cold day. Not too cold, but, there was some snow, some moisture in the air, and that just made the cold almost, stick to you. But it was a cold day, but we ventured out and got the Quesalupa. And according to the bag, I also got the hookup, too. But, I don't know. I think I mentioned this last time, but with the bag, it says I've got the hookup. Now, is that saying that I, myself, have the hookup now that I have this bag? Or is it saying that the bag has the hookup? Are they personifying the bag and saying that this thing has the hookup? It's a mystery. Download the app. Well, I can't do that because I'm not a smartphone user. Rather discriminatory for Taco Bell. That's just a purposeful overreaction, by the way. Quesalupa beef. I got it with beef. You can get it with beef, chicken, or steak, and I got it with beef, of course. I think that's what's most popular on it. So here it is. We'll lay it down like this so we can all see it good. Right. Comes in this little dish, tray, or whatever you want to call it. The new Quesalupa. The cheese lover's shell with an extra cheesy center. Oof. Wow. So, I guess we'll just, I don't know if we want to... Apparently something with the shell has cheese in it. There's cheese in this. Has seasoned beef, has sour cream, has all types of cheese on the top, some tomato, lettuce, as I said again, seasoned beef. And of course what makes this so special is that the Quesalupa shell itself actually has like cheese stuffed in it. So, we'll just be able to, we can pick it up like this. So we'll just eat over this and we'll tell you how it tastes. Okay, so the Quesalupa from Taco Bell going in. Now I remember what I forgot. Alright, take one more bite for you all. I want to know what it tastes like. Forget it. I'm going to get some napkins. Why, ladies and gentlemen, I always forget them, I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you. I had to walk into the other room and get a tissue. Why I always forget. No, it's an enigma to us all, I can tell you that. But I just need to look presentable. Speaking of enigmas, until the most recent bite or two, the enigma was, where is all this cheese that they claim is in the shell? Because I bit, and I bit. I chewed, I swallowed, I tasted. Barely any cheese. And then, there it is. Oh, this little bit here. Right. So there it is. What do we have to say about the Quesalupa? Okay. First and foremost, the shell itself is obviously not that of a standard taco. This shell you can expect to have a chewy flakiness to it. That's the best way to describe it. Just a chewy flakiness to it. And you're going to notice that. So the shell itself adds not a crunchiness or just a softness, but a chewiness to the Quesalupa. Okay. Secondly, what you're going to notice, at least in mine anyways, that they actually gave you a somewhat decent proportion of seasoned beef in it. And that's something that usually doesn't happen with Taco Bell. Usually it's either way too much or too little, but they actually did a good job with the proportion here, and they actually gave you an okay amount of the seasoned beef. So you're able to get that, taste a little bit, of a little bit of it's like a saltiness in the beef. We all know their beef isn't perfect quality. It's understandable. One thing that's a little more quality, to me at least, is the lettuce, believe it or not. Usually the lettuce is just these oddly chewy little strips, but these are actually like pieces of, pieces of lettuce here. So that's pretty surprising to me. Pretty surprising. The tomatoes, again, as they mostly do, add extra moisture. The sour cream adds a little bit of a tanginess. Okay, review, bro, we get all these things in here, do their own little components and blah, blah, blah. What does, right, they say there's, the cheese-filled shell. Okay, that's why everyone likes this thing. It's incredibly, supposed to be at least, incredibly innovative by Taco Bell. All right, what does the cheese in the cheese-filled shell taste like, right? Well, here goes, okay? Number one, it's a blatant, their advertising campaign for this, at least. I went to the Taco Bell today, and I saw in the window outside, they between like 3 panes of glass, they had like the Quesalupa was being pulled apart. So on one pane of glass to the left, there was one half, and one half of the Quesalupa on the other pane, and between it was just these giant strings of cheese, like there's supposed to be that much, cheese in it, and just if you ever see one of those advertising campaigns from Taco Bell, just know that it is an utter lie. The cheese inside here was, I believe it was supposed to be pepper jack cheese, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong here, but that's what I believe it was. The cheese itself, for the most part, was just, wasn't liquid or anything. It's just been sitting there for a while. Kind of like the cheese you get in a stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Where it's kind of just been sitting there. Kind of like a little blob of it. The cheese itself is really, unfortunately, you can't taste it. There's just a little whisper of heat throughout it all. But when I say a whisper, that's literally all that it is. Very, very mild heat. Just throughout the general Quesalupa, but nothing that you really require any sort of water or anything for. Okay. So what can I say about it? Again, there could really be more cheese in this. I feel that was one thing that perhaps they could use improvement on, is that just the lack of cheese in the Quesalupa. Right. I know some people compared it to a cheese quesadilla, but I can't say that myself based on the lack of cheese in mine. Yes, there is cheese, but there's just not a lot at all. That needs to be factored in and taken account of, and what have you. Okay. I just think, the cheese itself is okay. Nothing incredible about it, but I do say it is innovative by Taco Bell, and that I do commend them on, to be able to actually successfully initiate this in some way. Could use improvement, yes, could use absolutely more cheese in the shell itself, and you need to expect that while you're eating it. But in the end, they didn't royally mess anything up, which oftentimes, unfortunately, and I shouldn't say this, unfortunately they do. And that itself is a little bit of a problem, but it was okay. It was okay. As for the price, this was around $3. Could range from region to region, but this is around the $3 range. But it is a specialty item. Again, the first of its kind from Taco Bell to have, you know, the shell of the taco. Not a sandwich, really. I guess you could say it's a sandwich. You could call it whatever you want. You could call this a pizza for all I care. You know, but, you know, the shell of the taco itself, I mean, it is very innovative to actually stuff it with something and not have it fall apart. So I do give them credit for that. Anyways, price-wise, priced accordingly. And taste, not perfect. Is it something I get again? You know, not necessarily, but that's just because, you know, I'm not the world's biggest fan of Taco Bell, but it certainly hasn't been an unpleasant experience eating it. Could use some improvement here and there, but overall not horrible. And if you really like Taco Bell, I think you'd like this too. Out of 10, what am I going to be giving this? Out of 10, I'm going to be giving the Quesalupa from Taco Bell a 7.7 out of 10. 7.5 on the scale is average. So 7.7 out of 10 because I think, especially for Taco Bell, it's a little bit above average. Okay. Could still use some work here and there, but they really did something they've never done before. Or at least rarely ever do. Successfully initiated it, and I think that does deserve some credit for them. So, that's all I got for you, and that's what we got. This is Running on Empty Food Review. I'm your host, Report of the Week, and we'll be catching you sometime soon with another review, perhaps energy drinks, food, VORWs, whatever it might be. We'll be right here on the Report of the Week. Thank you so much for watching again, and take care. I'm gonna go below my nose now.